Hello. I'm going to show you what I am eating and prepping today. It is 7:20 right now. Oof, I look like a hot mess. I just had a shower. I feel very, very tired. You can tell. But today my husband and I are hopping on a flight and we're doing a weekend away together without kids, which I have been extremely excited for. And I will eat a little bit of processed food, but I'll mostly eat like whole foods, and I wanted to show you what I do to get ready for a day of traveling and also just getting set up for that. So here we go. Rally, Chelsea, you can do this. First thing first, we're gonna do coffee. This is the brand of coffee that I really like. So good. So I just put out a YouTube video where I was showing that I was using soy milk and like for a Ninja Creamy recipe, which you can go and find somewhere. And someone was saying that they're like, you can use almond milk as a lower calorie option. I do know that you can use almond milk. I personally would always choose soy, and I keep coming back to soy. I've tried oats, I've tried almond, because it's a legume, and it means that you're getting that benefit of a serving of legume, which is what Michael Greger talks about in How Not to Diet, any of those books. That's just so healthy for you. So it's not just about choosing the lowest calorie option. If you have to choose a slightly higher calorie option, but you get the benefit, like adding flax to your breakfast or like soy milk, like do that, because you don't want to just have like a skinnier casket. I didn't make that up. I've got my coffee here and I'm going to put a little bit of chocolate powder on top. Oof, yes. I'm so excited for this. At first sip, it just makes you feel like you want to live your life again. I'm so excited. And Wellington is a land of coffee, which is where we're going tonight. I'm so excited to like sit in a cute cafe tomorrow and like just sip and drink a coffee. And I just really want to have a good book. Just finished The Kite Runner and it was amazing, and it reminded me how much like I love reading. I've been pairing like going on the treadmill with reading and loving it. Like it's been super helpful for me because I hate going on the treadmill, I hate walking. But yeah, now I need another amazing book. Like that was phenomenal. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. Let me know if you're the same in the comments. I'm really curious about this, but like I just have like this right here starting to heal. So I get like little kind of blackheads on my chin, or like they're not even really blackheads. I'd just say maybe my pores are bigger, or like it's more prone to having blackheads. And I have this habit where I will like feel my face during the day, and like people who know me, I'll just sit there like if I'm bored, because I have to fidget in the car, in church, wherever, and I'll just like feel things on my face. And if I feel a hair, like I feel like I have to pluck it. If I feel like a dot, I feel like I have to pick at it. And then so sometimes I'll see things as well in the mirror and they'll be like, oh, like I have to get this out. It is very compulsive, not amazing. And so if I'm very diligent about like not touching my face, like squeezing anything, then normally my skin's pretty clear. But like once I get started on something, then it will lead to me like touching more things. I'll have like maybe like a couple of weeks of something being bad. And like this was me like a couple of years ago. And this is the thing, is like I don't struggle with, like I don't have skin that's prone to anything. It's literally just from being someone who likes to pick at stuff. And I'm curious if there's anyone else with that. And I also wanted to put that in there because I think it's like real easy to look on social media and look at people that you follow on YouTube or whatever and think that they are just some kind of like superhuman and that they have everything together. But what I've always wanted to communicate on social media is that I'm a very imperfect person. Like I'm someone who likes to pick at my face. I'm someone who likes to eat donuts. Like I'm someone who has struggled with a lot of mental health issues, and like my husband's in a wheelchair. I do not have a perfect life. I am certainly not a perfect person, but I'm still able to be like reasonably successful in my diet and other areas of my life simply because of taking tiny steps, not focusing on like having to be perfect, and just consistently putting in the inputs that are required, consistently eating the veggies. So I hope that that's like just hopeful in some way, but I also want to get some ideas. What do you do? How do you combat this? And I don't have a skincare routine either. I just wash my face with a flannel, so that probably should change. So any tips you have, help me out. Okay, an insane travesty. I don't have any sweet potato, but I'm going to cook up some potato and carrot and just roast it up. And I'm going to put some fancy herb salt. Let's get our tofu ready as well. Vegeta stock. nutritional yeast. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to like shove it in the air fryer, probably right before we leave, because it'll be lunch, like we're leaving before lunch, and this is just ready to go. So you can see that I'm going to show you like my prep station, but that was so easy. I think people make prep really difficult because they're following influencers, and then the influencers make it really difficult. Whereas like prep that is going to be something that you do for the rest of your life will probably be very simple. It will probably be the same things, maybe some change out in seasonal ingredients now and then. And I just do potato, I do sweet potato, I do carrot, I do butternut, buttercup if I have it, do any kind of root veggie, and I just shove it in the oven. And like that amount of cutting is actually more than I would normally do. And this is the tofu that I do, and it's the same every time. So 5 minutes of effort. I just want to know, like, if you could prep in 5 minutes of effort, like, do you think that you'd be more likely to eat healthy? Like, if it was easier to prep than it was to go for a drive-through, don't make it complicated, because you won't do it. So this is like my mess from it. I got a knife, and I gotta put this in the bin. And then these away, and we're good. Alrighty, so we are rushing, which I knew we would be. I haven't eaten anything yet. Veggies are cooked though, so I'm going to put these in a container, and I'm going to just quickly make some oats. And I'm going to take a couple of these too. I love these creatine gummies because they just taste like lollies to me. I take 3. And then I'll put this into the microwave. Ready to go. We're nearly ready to go. I nearly forgot my tofu. Okay, so I better do this now. Quickly, as we're packing. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. And I have like my oats, I have my tofu, I have my veggies, and then I'm also going to bring some hummus. And I'm not going to put the hummus with the hot stuff. Hot stuff is in here, but I will just keep this out. Hummus is not the kind of thing that you want to keep out of the fridge for very long, so I'm going to like save this or use this for like over the next couple of hours, and then if we don't use it all, then I will just like chuck whatever's left. Like, that's fine for me. And I think we're ready. I always don't feel ready, but let's go. Oh, excited.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so flippin' tired. How are you feeling?
Tired.
And we're like nearly at the airport. We've checked in. We only have carry-on, which is nice. And I did a little bit of work on the way down, so we're all good. I don't actually know if I'm going to end up eating any of that food. I mean, I probably when we get to Wellington. Maybe when we get on the plane, but I'm just not feeling hungry right now. I mean, it's only 1:40. I had that. I had my breakfast at like 1 o'clock.
Ah, I see.
I mean, not 1 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11. Nick will eat all the food. Cheers.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barrow Size, your own flight service manager. It's my pleasure on behalf of your...
Here we are in Wellington. Okay, just walked into our place. We do have some lights, but I like this. How cool! See the water. It's nice.
It's really nice.
And we got this. Hey.
paying for these guys to be on set.
Kind of like
Obviously.
got this carbonara, mac and cheese. And so that is what we ate, and that's what I ate in that day. And I didn't end up filming much of my trip at all because we're just completely unplugged, and it was amazing. I did end up eating like more processed food than, not that I had planned to, but that I probably could have if I had planned better. It's really interesting because you can have like amazing systems in your day to day. You can be phenomenal at home, you can have really, really solid habits, and then if you travel, you find that those habits go out the window and you're like, well, what's happened? Why did my habits slip? But our habits and our behavior is location dependent. So if you normally eat in a certain way when you go on holiday, if you normally eat out, if you normally go and get a little bagel or a takeout, or you normally drink, then you're going to do that as your default, even if your habits are very, very different at home, because that is the location. The location triggers a certain type of behavior. So takeaways for me, and the way that I kind of manage trips, is I attempt to be very intentional about what I'm going to do and how much processed food I'm going to have. So in that instance, going out for dinner and eating like tofu and potatoes throughout the day, that seems to work for me. The learning curve of this is funny because I'm still kind of learning this. Like, I know it, but then sometimes I forget because I don't travel all that much. In this instance, where I'm kind of out with Nick, and this was a bit of a situation where we'd already been in this environment before, and we'd had like a lot of processed food. I went to Wellington another time. We ate a lot of processed food, and I didn't plan as to what I wanted to be like on this trip. I didn't think about it. I was just kind of like, I'll let it happen. And so what transpired is that we ate out lots. I don't regret anything, but what it taught me was, if I don't plan for something different, if I don't be very, very granular with how I plan, I'm going to default to my old behaviors. It's that realization and that remembering that when it comes to outside of your environment, you have to be so specific about planning. I would have needed to, if I wanted to eat like broccoli and potatoes, I would have needed to think about bringing a steamer with me. I would have needed to plan when I was going to go to the supermarket and get stuff. I was going to need to plan what days I would eat out, what places I would eat out, what I would be doing when I leave the house. If I'm bringing oats with me, okay, I need to plan and put that in my calendar that I'm going to go to the supermarket as soon as I get there, get oats, get berries, make that in an overnight container. If I'm going to be out for the entire day, I need to be thinking about that. I need to be thinking, bring food with me so that I can eat out where I'm at. I need to be thinking about, well, what am I going to do if we go out? If we're just going to go into somewhere, it's probably not going to be food that is going to be helpful for my goals. Therefore, I have to really think about and plan what restaurant I'm going to go to, or choose to bring food with me, and we sit on a park bench and we eat a potato or something like that. And it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. And that's why most people will just default to eating out when they're on holiday or when they're traveling, which is what I did. And there's nothing wrong with this, but the problem with eating out and those kind of foods is that they're simply so high in calories. The average takeout meal or the average restaurant meal is about 2,000 calories. So if you have that 3 times a day, that's a very high calorie day. And so you might want to be flexible, and you might want to just go with the flow, but you're going with the flow in a manner where you're just going to be eating more calories than you need, if that is your goal, to lose weight or maintain your weight. If that's not your goal, then you've got an environment that is fighting against you. So you're going to need to put a lot of time and effort into changing that internal environment by being an insane planner. And it's possible. I've definitely done it. I can definitely do it. And when I do, I eat consistently. But I just wanted to put that out there because I don't think a lot of people really factor in how much is required to be consistent when you're out of your home environment, because you're fighting a environment that is not in line with what your goals are. If you could go to any restaurant and just order a baked potato and some steamed broccoli, that'd be amazing. But you can't do that in most places. So you're going to go and order something that's going to be 2,000 calories or even more if you get drinks and things like that. So you have to be a planner, you have to become a planner, and if you want to lose weight, then that's just what is required to succeed. I'm going to leave that there, and I hope that you found that helpful. I do have a video on how I plan for my trips and how I avoid gaining weight when I'm on holiday or when I'm traveling, which requires a ton of planning and all that kind of thing. So go and check that out if you want to know more about that, and I'll see you next week for another video. Okay, bye.